I want to thank my constituents in the riding of Calgary-Nose Hill for giving me a very clear mandate to do one thing: to stand up for them, to fight for them, and to be their voice here in this place. I received a mandate of over 70%. Door to door, person to person that I talked to, people that I know had voted Liberal, NDP in the past, they looked me in the eye, and it was a serious conversation at the door. They said, look, I have never voted Conservative before, but I'm going to vote for you because it's really bad here, and we need you to fight for us. So my way of thanking them is not just saying it here, it's to do that and to fight for them every day. So to the 98 new members of Parliament in this place, I want to talk to you about what it's like at home. I want to talk to you about what it's like to have 175,000 people who work in the primary industry of your province become out of work in a very short period of time, and not because of commodity prices, as the Prime Minister so glibly said this morning. I'll get to that. Because of policies that were set here. What we do here reflects how people live in every part of the country. And what happened in the last Parliament for the people in my riding meant trauma, suicide, homes lost, jobs lost, families lost. What we do here matters, and I will fight for them. Right now, in my province, we are seeing some of the highest unemployment rates in the country sustained. And why? Why is that happening? Not because of commodity prices, Mr. Speaker. Oh, it's commodity prices. It's commodity prices. Then why is the United States doing so well with their natural resource sector? Why? It's because of instability and political decisions that have made it impossible for the energy sector to sustain employment. That's why. Decisions made here. In 2017, Alberta's suicide rate was 14.9%, or 14.9 per 100,000 people, just over 3 points higher than the rest of Canada. That is up really high. In 2016, there was a project by the Calgary Police Service called Operation Northern Spotlight, and it was to help sex workers in the city. Let me read you a story. A woman who entered the sex trade in 2016, and it's gotten worse since then, said, I never thought I'd be here. I never thought I would have to hide from my family, telling them that my cleaning job runs late every night. I'm here because this would have been an easy $350. I had a great job. Then the jobs crisis hit, and I got laid off. 2 weeks later, my husband lost his job as well. The bills didn't stop coming. Well, the problems haven't stopped in my riding. We sit here, and yesterday's throne speech, and yes, Mr. Speaker, I will be splitting my time with the member from Battle River Crowfoot. Yesterday's throne speech was a slap in the face. I got scrummed in the media yesterday saying, well, it was more of a tone-setting document and blah, blah. Well, if it was a tone-setting document, it was tone-deaf for every person in my riding. It didn't say anything about what this government was going to do to reverse the policies that create the instability that puts the people in my riding out of work. That needs to change. If we're not willing to change that, then what is happening in my province, where my province is saying, we don't see ourselves in this country, our country doesn't have our back, why should we be part of it? That is going to continue to grow. It will continue to grow, it will continue to fester, and it is because of the decisions that are being made to put the people in my riding out of work. Now, people in this place would be like, well, it's a dirty industry, it's so dirty, it's very dirty. You should just diversify your way out. While they then go fill up their car with Saudi oil, while they drink their kale smoothie with its components parts being imported from California, while they promote their industry, like aerospace, which planes create greenhouse gas emissions, or auto sector. Wait, cars create greenhouse gas emissions, or they go to Walmart and buy a cheap Chinese t-shirt. that is created in one of the highest greenhouse gas emissions in the world. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. Anybody who says that the people in my riding have dirty jobs and don't have the right to work is a hypocrite, because nobody is willing to take climate action individually in this country. They are putting the entire responsibility on the people in my riding and saying that that's good, that is what it's going to take to get this job done, and it won't. The people in my province have a right to work. They have a right to prosper. I am sick and tired of this debate. Nothing on climate change happening while my province and the people in it bear the entire cost and responsibility, and we do nothing. And it has to stop. And I'm going to tell you one thing, Mr. Speaker. It is going to stop one way or another. One way or another, it is coming to a head. Everybody in here who thinks that what is happening in this province, oh, it's just the separatist movement, it's just a few fringe people. I'm going to tell you, it is not fringe. People do not feel like they have a place in this country. They don't feel like they have a fair deal. You know what they see? They see that hypocrisy that I just mentioned, and they see a prime minister who fights for jobs with SNC-Lavalin, who stand alleged of bribing Muammar Gaddafi's son with prostitutes. They see the former fisheries minister signing special deals that he had ethics commissions violated for over clam fishing. Scandal after scandal, special deal after special deal. You know what? And then there's the people, Mr. Speaker, who say, oh, well, you know, my riding, they've been out of work. You know, 175,000 people, I don't know how many lobster fishers there are in this country, but when fisheries, something happens to them, we get angry. We all do here. We say, we have to fix this. They can't stay out of work. When the auto sector, something happens there, we say, we don't say, oh, cars create greenhouse gas emissions, I guess we should just let that industry die. We do something about it. When has it become acceptable to let an entire province industry die while the rest of the country looks like a hypocrite? It has to stop. Otherwise, we will face a national unity crisis. We are in one. And I want to let the people in this House know what that looks like. The Premier of this province is rightly talking about a fair deal for Alberta and autonomy. And I support him in that. But here's what Alberta opting out of the CPP looks like. We're the net contributor to the CPP in the country. Higher premiums across the country means people won't be able to retire till later ages. And that is because the Prime Minister has put us in this position. We need to scrap Bill C-69. We need to scrap Bill C-48. And we need to understand the wealth that the energy sector creates. It creates receptor capacity for clean technology. It displaces energy from Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. And if we're talking about transition and climate change, Canadian energy and what my province does is at the heart of that equation. It shouldn't be killed. Why would you kill the heart of what Canada can contribute to when it comes to this? Enough is enough, Mr. Speaker. Enough. I will stand here for however long this Parliament lasts, and I will stand up for the rights of my province, because that is why I'm here. For people to stand up and say, thank you for sending me here. They didn't thank you for sending me here to collect a salary or stand up and just seal, clap, and vote. They sent us here to fight, and I'm going to fight for my province and the people in my riding. And if that means saying we need more autonomy, we need the equalization payment formula looked at, and if people, then I will do that. And if everybody here says that we will not do that we will not give my province a fair deal, then I'm going to tell you right now, the people in my province are going to say enough is enough. And the choice is every single person in this House. It starts here and it ends here. So, Mr. Speaker, I implore you, through you, the people in this House, to realize that what was in that throne speech was not good enough. It's not going to cut it. It's not going to fix it. And it's going to take us having smart, tough conversations. Otherwise, it's over. My colleague from Malpeque just talked, he made an appeal to unity. And I want to tell him this. I'm not here, and the people on this side of the House are not here to make life politically expedient for the Liberals in a minority situation. We're here to fight for the people of our provinces. And our provinces are Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC, Ontario, every part of this country, which sees Alberta as a strong part of Confederation. We will not let this continue. I ask people who are watching here today to support me by signing petition E2303 at e2303.ca, which sends a message to every person in this House to do just that. Let's talk about setting a tone. And it's time for Alberta to have a fair deal.